So these are my best exercises to do postnatally, both to get some mobility back through those pelvic joints as well as starting to strengthen the abdominal muscles and bring them back together to hopefully knit quite nicely back down that linea alba, the joint between the two sides of the abdomen. So just to start with, we want to get used to some more mobility in the pelvis. So with your exercise ball, you want to sit on it. This one is a bit low, it's not pumped up fully. What you ideally want is for your hips to be slightly higher than your knees. If I turn to the side, you can see that this ball isn't pumped up quite enough for me because my hips are in line with my knees. So try and have yours pumped up to the right height for you. And all we're going to do from here is some pelvic rolls. So trying to imagine that your tailbone is fixed into the ball and you're trying to draw a circle on the ground with your tailbone. Trying to make those as big as you can. So going round one way and then we'll swap and do the other way. So I want you to try and feel if there is any restrictions. For instance, if you can't move over to that left-hand side, just make yourself aware of it. And as you come around to that left, just try and get a little bit more mobility. What you can then do is make this more of an abdominal exercise, so that as you come round to the back, where you're trying to tuck your tummy in, and then as you come round to the front, just let it hang out. So tucking in, contracting the abdominal muscles, and then relax and breathe out. Breathe in, tuck in, and breathe out. So doing those sort of 10 or 12 times each way is going to help first with the mobility of the pelvic bones, as well as starting to get a bit more strength through the abdomen. From there, what we're going to do is come down onto all fours, and just a variation on the cat-cow stretch that we've done before. So coming into that nice stable all fours position, and I want you to tuck the pelvis under and peel the spine up to the ceiling. But what your focus is going to be is getting the abdomen to tighten and button it onto the back of the spine. So we're making it more of a strength exercise than a mobility exercise. So coming here, really bringing that belly button onto the spine and then up to the ceiling. And then back to neutral. So tucking the belly button onto the back of the spine and coming up. And just once more, pin the belly button up to the ceiling, and then relax down. So that's going to really start to get the abdomen coming back together and knitting back along that central point. The third exercise we're going to do is a little bit of a strange one, but it's really going to help with the pelvic floor. So it involves a little bit of visualising. So you're going to come stand, knees just soft, don't want them bent or locked out, so nice soft knee. And then what I want you to imagine is you've got a lift door. So you want to imagine closing that lift door on the lower abdomen, and then you're going to try and think of the pelvic floor as the lift rising up, if you can, towards the belly button. And what most people commonly do is hold their breath or shrug their shoulders to try and get that lift subconsciously. So I want you to try and keep that upper body as relaxed and soft as possible. So again, soft knees, close those lift doors. So you should feel a contraction through here. And then I want you to imagine raising the lift. Again, trying to keep these soft up towards the belly button. And then breathe out and relax. And we're just going to do that once more. So soft knees, close those lift doors. And then imagine it lifting up towards the belly button. And these three exercises are going to be really good to prepare you before you go forward and do anything more intense, like any high intensity activity, running, anything that's going to involve a little bit more pressure through the pelvic floor. So they're going to be really good to prepare yourself before getting into any of those exercises. I would really recommend that you don't start anything more intense until you feel comfortable with all of these movements. And from there, what you can do is then start looking at some more intense things to strengthen the core. But these are the basics, and it's really important that you get these done properly before moving on to anything more difficult.